Good afternoon, everyone. This is a presentation by the Circular Electronics Partnership. Unfortunately, I am not able to be with you in the room today at the Canadian Stewardship Conference, but I thank you for taking the time to see my pre-recorded message to you here. This is me. My name is Carolien van Brunschot. I lead the Secretariat of CEP from Geneva, Switzerland, and I'm happy to talk to you today about e-waste. E-waste is among our fastest growing waste stream globally and currently just badly managed. Only 17% of the waste is formally collected and recycled, and over 80% is landfilled or processed informally. This is leading to environmental issues such as soil or water contamination, but also to severe health impacts on populations involved in improper informal e-waste recycling. Currently, management, or rather mismanagement, also leads to missed economic opportunities. The 2020 Global E-Waste Monitor estimates that the total value of raw materials in global e-waste is approximately $57 billion, mainly coming from iron, copper, and gold and equipment. In addition, some of the minerals embedded in electronics are considered critical raw materials, some of which are getting scarce, but at the same time are essential to power our global energy transition. I am speaking, of course, of materials like tungsten, tantalum, and lithium, but there are others as well. Making matters worse, ongoing digitalization, especially during the COVID pandemic, sees a push for companies and customers to go more and more digital. In developing markets, digitalization and wider use of electronic devices is also driven by improved accessibility and affordability, which has major advantages when it comes to safe and sensible development, but it will also have some major consequences for our ever-growing pile of e-waste, as well as the resources needed to manufacture all these electronic devices. As e-waste is this industry-specific symptom of our general take-make-waste electronic model, one of the answers is a circular economy for electronics. An economic ecosystem where instead of extracting more resources from the earth and disposing our old devices in landfill and incineration, we reuse all products, parts, and materials to their highest residual value through formal collection channels and reuse, refurbish, remanufacture, and recycling cycles, ensuring that they circulate back into the economy after end of life. Many materials in electronics last for much longer than the lifetime of a product, and we need to ensure that we can benefit from using those really for as long as possible. All partners organizations in CEP, here on the slide, have had the circular economy for electronics high on their agenda for years. In 2019, we realized that we all work with an overlapping pool of private sector member companies on similar projects. Not only did we realize a risk in overlapping initiatives and therefore duplicating work, but even more counterproductive, potentially running projects with contradicting outcomes, which can be frustrating for all the organization, the participants, and generally adding to the confusion in the collective space instead of really driving convergence. From that moment, we started looking into the opportunity to, instead of running our own individual initiatives on circular economy for electronics, to organize ourselves in a way that strengthens all our efforts by offering the industry a more holistic and coordinated approach through this partnership. The founding partners of CEP are the Global Electronics Council, the Global Enabling Sustainability Initiative, the International Telecommunications Union, the Responsible Business Alliance, the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, and the World Economic Forum. Within the partnership, our partner organizations still offer the same value and initiatives to their memberships, but through a coordinated approach in which each contributes through their own value proposition. Over the course of the past 18 months, we were fortunate to have been joined by these industry leaders when it comes to circular electronics. Our members are providing the momentum behind CEP's activation in addressing the transitional barriers towards a circular economy. This community of companies provides us with a wealth of knowledge and expertise, fueling the projects that we run. They help us understand what is needed to make the industry move. We always welcome new members to join, in particular those that can broaden our insights from a value chain and a geographic perspective. The CEP roadmap was developed over the course of 2020 through a combined working group of over 30 companies in the industry, and it outlines 40 short actions across the 6 pathways spread over the product lifecycle. During this collaboration project, these actions have been identified as necessary to collectively address the main industry-wide barriers for companies that want to move ahead on their circular ambitions. They are spread over 6 pathways, which were phrased as a call to the industry to, first of all, design for circularity, to drive demand for circular products and services, to scale responsible business models for circular electronics, to increase the official collection rate, to aggregate for reuse and recycling, and to scale secondary material markets. I'm aware that this is a busy slide and is not meant for reading all the small text, but to illustrate CEP's real-time roadmap project progress. With this dashboard, I'd like to show you the activities that have been undertaken over the last 18 months since CEP was launched as a platform. This is a schematic overview of all the roadmap actions, including a marking of those actions that have already been addressed through projects. After the launch of CEP as a platform, we now see that out of the 40 open roadmap actions, 14 projects have already started, are planned to get started later in 2022, or are in the pipeline to get addressed in the coming months. Examples of some of these projects range from guidance development to purchasers for private sector and institutional buyers, to the development of an EHS standard for the recycling sector, and from engagement around policy for trade facilitation for secondary materials, to consistent measurement of the progress of the circular transition throughout the industry. This is just to name a few, but as you can see, more is going on. There is one action that really sits at the heart of everything else on the roadmap. Define what constitutes a circular product and service. And you can see it here on the left-hand side in the top corner, project 1.1. After all, to be able to collaborate on all these roadmap actions across the product lifecycle, we need to at least make sure that we all speak the same language and work towards the same end goal. This became CEP's first project, starting in the summer of last year, in which through many team calls, we tried to define what circularity actually means in the context of the electronic sector. The publication with the results of this project is planned for Thursday this week. And of course, I invite everyone to join us for the launch event of the Circular Electronic System Map, an industry blueprint for action. Although this is not out yet, today I can give you a small sneak peek into some of the key conclusions. Spoiler alert, we had to very quickly conclude there is no such thing as a circular product. In line with some of the well-known measurement frameworks for company circularity, we agreed to 3 key attributes for product circularity. 1, they have to be made from circular resources. 2, they have to be designed to facilitate effective and efficient component and material recovery. But most importantly, they have to actually be collected and processed for reuse and recovery. From these 3 attributes, you see it becomes immediately clear that circularity goes way beyond the product. To ensure products and materials are reused and recovered in real life, we need to ensure the system is in place to facilitate these flows into a second, a third, or a fourth life. It is the system that allows this product to be reused, repaired, and recycled that determines whether a product is actually circular or whether it ends up in landfill. And to know what we are working towards beyond 2030, we need to collectively understand and shape what that system will look like. This North Star description of the circular electronic system is what CEP has been working on, which we couldn't be more excited about to share with you all. I would like to invite you all here today to sign up for the launch event on Thursday. It is titled Defining Circular Electronics and the System Needed for Scale. And it is planned for 3 to 4:30 p.m. CEST and 9 a.m. Toronto time. We will not only dive into what our members and our partners think that systems should look like, but also host a multi-stakeholder dialogue with academia and others for an open conversation about what it will take to make this system that we will be talking about a reality. The easiest is to go to our website, cep2030.org, and use the link on the page to register. And this is also where you can download the report from Thursday onwards. I'd like to thank you all for your attention. I hope I have sparked some of your interest. If you have any questions regarding CEP, our project, or our upcoming publication, please get in touch. We have lots of topics on the agenda, and we welcome everyone in the industry to take part in our activities. Finally, I wish you all a great rest of your conference. Thank you so much for your attention.